Erica Ayala with Black Rosy Media. Coach, get the first win. Can you just give us, your overall thoughts on how your team played tonight?
Overall thoughts.
Because I have thoughts, so.
Hey, come on up on this side. Just don't quote me on your thoughts. No, we're still finding who we are, and you start to see a glimpse. And I said in between periods, when 3 of us out of 5 are on the same page, we're all right. When we get 4 on the same page, we're starting to look good, and when we get 5 on the same page, we're going to be really tough to play against. And you see in the third period, when we get to our principles of playing fast or playing direct, we're hard to handle. And so each night I see glimpses of that, and we're asking our players to really have a mindset shift of how we want to play this game. And the moments they do, it's really good. It's fun to watch. The moments they don't, I always make the jokes. I'm already bald already, so I'm not losing hair, but it feels like it at times. But this is a long journey for us, and we're 3 games in, and there's tons of energy to this, but we're going to lose a third of our team on Sunday. So we know there's adversity coming, and that team right there tonight showed who we are already. We know we're going to face adversity all year long. Everyone is in this league. Starting up, slowing down, the Olympic break, no one had ever put on the schedule to go on the road for 17 days, right? So these are the things that we're just going to work through and build, and we have to stay internally optimistic and positive. And I mean, the game's over now, but we had sickness go through us. We had some players missing, right? Those things you just next man up, next woman up, right? So that's just the way it's going to go for the season, and we're prepared for that. We've started this journey a while ago with the people behind the scenes, with our players, with our performance team. We're prepared to go 40 games and travel all over this country. That's what we're preparing for.
Hi, Coach. Charles Hammaker, Circling Seattle Sports. Just wanted to ask you about your goaltender tonight. I mean, I think maybe some folks were surprised to see Hannah Murphy start, but I'm sure you weren't. You've seen that. Just can you speak to her performance and what you've seen from her through camp and to this point?
Yeah, I guess that journey starts with Megan Turner. I remember sitting at the draft, and I was a passenger, for 100% passenger, and she's making these decisions with the team that we kind of had there in place, and she knew what she wanted in that second round, and that was Hannah. And obviously tonight showed one of the reasons why. What an amazing, you talk about newer fans, the knowledge in this building was pretty immense. They knew who was a star tonight. Hannah stood on her head at the moments that we needed her. She was calm, cool, collected, and that's, I said before, this was her coming out already, game 1. Like, she's a legit hockey player, and just how she approaches the game, her awareness, everything about her is she's going to be a really, really good hockey player in the PWHL.
Coach, the 5-minute major is announced. What's going through your mind, and what's the message to the team?
Well, that time of the game, a 5-minute major, you're just trying to make sure you're calm in it, have your personnel ready, and Christine Bumstead did a great job getting that top unit ready, the second unit ready, and you have to have a mindset that it could take the whole time to get that 5, and then when you did, you got to get ready to go again. And I kind of just pulled the group over after that. It's just, let's reset, let's get ready, and then we scored again. You got to reset again. There's still time left on the clock, and just we switched out 1 forward for 2 defense, and I really liked the way Barnesy and Brownie finished off the game, kind of holding that puck back there, understanding the clock management side of it, that if they're going to come, they're going to have to take a risk to come after us, and that was a bit of a risk, and we got it down to the other end and killed the clock. So, it was. I felt it was coming, but it was nice to have that extra player on the ice to help it along. So, it was just timely.
Steve, you sat at this table 5 hours ago and said, Carps is going to play with a chip on her shoulder. Do you actually know what's going to happen before it happens?
Well, I wish you would have played a little more chip on her shoulder in the first period, not just the third. But no, like, we know she's a competitor. She's been in those big games, and she scored big goals, and that's why her and Hillary and Belka and Barnesy are on that ice at the end. And, you know, along with Gosling out there as well, she's building that image for herself too, and it's going to be a journey. Sardakian's another one that we have some nice players, and it's going to be competitive for those top spots, and who's going to be on the ice on the 6-on-5, the 5-on-6, the 5-on-4, all that stuff is that internal competition, and we have the people to do that and do it in a positive way, because not always is it a healthy competition, but here that's what we're building, is that healthy competition. And it starts, I always say, for us as coaches, the games are really the practice. That's where all these skills and resilience is built, is in practice.
We saw the hit on Anna Wilbur, and I just want to know how she's doing.
She popped back up, and those types of hits, everything is always an evaluation. Really, you get a preliminary idea tonight, and she's fine right now. You wake up in the morning, and you never know with a sore neck and everything else where she goes from there, but hopefully she's healthy and ready. I believe she'll have an opportunity to go with Team USA, so hopefully she's healthy and ready to go. And she's got the day off tomorrow, and our plan kind of going forward is just to get some rest here. The group's pushed hard, so get some rest for the next little bit here.
Just a question sort of about one of your depth lines with Agia, Grant-Mentis, and Snodgrass. It looked like momentum was sort of flagging a little bit in the middle part of the game, and they got out there, and it seemed like you were maybe giving them a little bit more ice time. Is that the case? And can you just speak to their game, even though they didn't show up on the score sheet?
Yeah, I think when we're done with this season, I think they're going to play a big story to it, and I got to continue to keep them together, because points are not, the result is not always what's important there. I've talked to them about being that energy line, but not just this reckless and don't bring anything else to it. They're good hockey players, and they're still just finding their way. We had Natalie on the right side playing her offside, and kind of flipped that just to give her a little bit easier time. She's got some good pucks in some good places, but it's tough to make plays in your backhand to the middle of the ice and trusting those plays. So I believe the way that line's constructed, Bucky she's just scratching the surface. Lexi's been amazing. I think she's been probably our most consistent player overall. Just, you know, it's not about points, but just going out shift after shift and playing to where we want them to play. And Natalie's just finding her way. And again, having a chat with Dax, she's playing more minutes than she did last year, you know, so that's an adjustment. And things like that, people's roles, I think, are a little different here than they've been in the past, and they just have to kind of grow into them a little bit more.
Coach Tiller with the Ice Garden, can you speak a little bit about your penalty kill and just your special teams and what you saw from them tonight?
I can, but that's not my job. No, it was nice to finally get some opportunities. I said to Christine, stop complaining about not getting any power play time now. So, no, it's been excellent. Clayton's done a really good job with the penalty kill. He's very knowledgeable. He's got great experience in all areas of the game, but he's done a really good job with that penalty kill. Christine, it's been a little bit more challenging when you don't get that rhythm in a game. Tonight's the first night we've had to have some rhythm to the game, get a few power plays and get some touches, and it takes time to kind of build that chemistry, and practice is not easy to do that, because you're going against killers that know what you're doing. You know, do they go hard, do they go easy? Penalty killers don't want to shoot and hit someone in the ankle, so it's not easy to build that, and Christine's done a really good job communicating and showing the idea of what we want. And we get to a 4-on-3, we haven't practiced that, you know, so I'm like, hey, get your people ready, and she's like, I got my people, but we really haven't had a shot at this, you know, so those are those elements in the next 10, 12 days, those players are gone. So again, it's something that sits on the back burner. There's so many boxes to check throughout a season, and that's just one of them there. But those two coaches have done an amazing job with their individual units. Clayton, what he's doing at the back end, the penalty kill. Christine, the details she's teaching on the forwards and the power play have been outstanding.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.